Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Dr. Pranav Kumar. Again, I am here onto the third part of cryptography and cybersecurity module, right? So today we'll see what is cybercrime. So cybercrime is, we can say, it is a general criminal activity. It can be any type of criminal activity that involves the by the use of computers, networks, or any type of networking devices. So while most of the cyber criminals use cyber crimes to generally in order to gain some of the profit in the sense we can say that some of the login credential, or there may be the case some of the information that can be further used, so that more somehow the financial gain can be done. So uh, whereas some of the cyber criminals use some illegal method in order to do this activity. So there are different kinds of cybercrime, we can say. First type is, we can say, that is unauthorized access hacking. So unauthorized access hacking, what is it means? This is a kind of access to some network or the computer without any permission. Means uh, that any unwanted person who is not authorized to use any system or the network, but without asking or without getting proper authenticated, if some person gets into the secured system, that is called as unauthorized access to that system. So hacking means it is an illegal intrusion into the computer system or the network. So each and every act that is committed towards the breaking into the computers or the network is said to be hacking. So it is the first type. Second type we can say is web hacking. So previous one is different from this one. Previous one is called as unauthorized access to the computer network or some other network. So that is the authenticated, we can say, purpose of hacking. This second part is part actually involve the web part, means website related to website hacking. So nowadays or previously, many of the government websites, you must have heard about, some of the hackers must have hacked or something, right? So that is related to this web hacking. Third type of, we can say, third kind of cybercrime is called as cyber stalking. So what do you mean by cyber stalking? Cyber stalking can be termed as it is a repeated activity of harassment targeting towards the victim. Victim can be anyone, by using their phone calls, by continuously messaging the person, by continuously mailing the person, or through phone call. It can be through phone calls, or it can be through physical mode also. So cyber stalking can be in any form, right, using some of the devices, right? So it can be, in other words, we can say that cyber stalking is similar to that of blackmailing also, right? So it include little bit of harassment due to, or we can say, torturing of the victim towards the criminal, right? So fourth one is DOS attack, that is full form is denial of service attack. So as the name is specified, denial in the sense, one word is hidden over there, that is called as deny, right? So deny means is to ignore, or to, you can say, to stop something, right? So here there this can be done through the hacker or some networking person only, right? So they used to do lots of flooding of requests, right? So each and every server has some limited capacity, means they have some handling capacity, means suppose for example one router or the server can handle at a time thousand requests, right? So if the total number of requests increases from 1000, So obviously we can say that server will become either slow down, or server will hang up, or some server will become down, right? So in that case, when the server becomes slows down or server becomes down, so at that time hacker enter into the server, or they used to attack onto the server. This is called as denial of service attack, right? So one more term is connected onto the denial of service attack, that is called as distributed denial of service attack. Means uh, short form is DDoS, right? So when this attacking is performed from the different uh, we can say different areas, right? So not only the one way, or we can say through different more than one way, if that flooding of request can be performed, so it is called as distributed denial of service attack, right? So the next type of we can say um, kind of cyber crime we can say is virus attack, right? So virus is nothing but it is a set of rules, right? So set of rules, we can say it is if some instruction is written onto some text file. Suppose some path is given, some C drive path is given, and it's written del that xyz dot file name, right? So del, what del command do in the command prompt, it is used to delete any file, right? So that whenever that text file will get executed, automatically that command that is inserted onto that text file will get executed, and that whatever be the file on is listed onto that path will be deleted, right? So if that file is really important for the computer to start up, then obviously your victim's system or the PC will crash down, right? So we can say that that is being affected by the virus, but actually it is nothing but a set of instruction, right? So virus is little bit different from the worm. Worm doesn't affect the system. It not only delete any file or something, it just worm just used to replicate itself. Replicate in the sense we can say that worm just create their own copy at the same place again and again. Means if suppose one file has been inserted through somewhere, through email or through downloading, that single file duplicate itself onto the two file, and that two file will create their replica to 4 files and 8 and so on, right? So this is the virus cyber criminal. Next one is everyone must have heard about phishing, right? So what is phishing? Phishing is nothing but we can say that spoofing of user with the help of by making similar website of the original one, right? So it is like a trap for which has been created by the hacker or the attacker, which creates for attracting the normal or the user people. So they used to attract the common people by giving this by creating this trap. And if the username or the we can say, or if user enters their login credential onto that fake website, obviously their user credential will be saved, or it will be redirected to, or those information will be sent to the attacker, right? So this is called as phishing. Next type of we can say cyber crime is called as email spoofing. So what is email spoofing? So before that one, what is spoofing? Spoofing is nothing but it is actually to we can say means to fool someone, right? So fooling someone is called as spoofing. So to fool someone with the help of email, that is called as email spoofing, right? So email spoofing refers to the email that appears to the original from one source, but actually it is being sent from the another source. Means the sender actually used to hide their identity from one place, uh, but it shows some other's identity, so that that original person can't be caught, right? So the next type of cyber criminal crime we can say is the forgery. Forgery is in day-to-day life, so we can say it become very active, right? So it is generally performed in offline mode, but in cyber term also forgery is performed. So it is related to the computers or the printer scanners that can be used to forge the currency notes, right? So generally those duplicate currency notes are being created in order to fool the government or the other people, right? So these are the different types of cyber crimes we can say. uh, so our next topic is, we can say, is digital forensic. So what is digital forensic? Digital forensic is a branch of we can say forensic science that include the identification, collection, analysis and presentation, or we can say documentation, that any valuable digital information in the digital device related to the computer crime as a part of investigation is performed. So in short we can say, or in simple language we can say, digital forensic is nothing but it is something related to the digital activity with the help of some digital devices. If we find out or we can say investigate the any criminal activity or crime activity with the help of different steps called as identification step, collection step, analysis step and the documentation step, right? So this is called as digital forensic. So there are different we can say processes through which digital forensic is performed. Just now we have explained those processes. That is, the first process we can say is called as investigation, right? So in this first step, that forensic team is used to investigate that at which place that criminal activity has been performed, right? So in this process they start to investigate, or they start to seize the area where the action has been performed or the criminal activity has been performed. This include acquiring of the digital devices or the data or the relevant data, or some putting some barricade over the crime scene, right? So this include the investigation part. So followed by the second process, that is called as identification process include the relevant data related to the case that can be considered as evidence, or something is being extracted from the crime scene and that is being kept safely somewhere by the forensic team. It generally include the computer related activity, or we can say digital related activities such as mobile phone images or social media sites, or any type of activity that is digital thing that being found at the crime scene. So those things are actually being identified and it is being preserved, right? Third step shows that the collection in the sense whatever be the items that has been identified onto the crime scene, that this can be considered as the evidence. So how to properly collect those evidence, and how not only collecting the evidence, along with that one, they used to forensic team used to create the backup of that or we can say those evidences, right? Because if some evidence is there onto the phone that is related to in the form of social media sites, so that those social media sites can be deleted also, those accounts can be deleted also. That's why, so before deleting those accounts or something, they used to create the backup of cell phones or something, right? So this includes the collection process, followed by the next process that is called as the preservation, right? So data preservation. So this is considered as the important part, we can say, because the preserving the evidence onto the next step is the important thing. This involves the duplication, creating duplicate images of the digital media, we can say digital copy or similar copy is being created, and making sure that the original data is kept undamaged, right? Because there may be the case, this case is handled by the police or some forensic team, but later on if that case is further claimed onto the some high court, so again those evidence is required for investigation, right? So after preservation, that next phase or process involved is called as analysis. So what will be the evidence that is being collected as a evidence that is being preserved is actually being analyzed by the analysis team. So that is being analyzed in the sense they used to uncover those related information. It includes the various digital forensic tools to examine the data, right? So for that one they used to recover those different type of we can say deleted files. They used to extract different types of datas that is being deleted or removed from the digital devices, right? So as a last step we can say presentation is the last step for the we can say digital forensic process. So onto this stage, the final this is called as the final step of the digital forensic, where the documentation of each and every activity, or we can say each and every evidence that is being collected is being documented properly, and it is being documented in order to present the evidence in front of the court, because actually court uh, doesn't believe onto the statement, just the statement, right? Or to the story of some investigation team, or story of some of the that police officers, right? They need a solid proof, and that is considered as in the form of documented proof, right? So these are the different stages or the processes that is being involved in the digital forensic. Followed by that one, let's discuss what is types of digital forensic, right? So there are different types of digital forensic that exist. One is called as computer forensic. Computer forensic is the we can say it is a type of forensic activity that is related to the device or the computer one. It involves the recovery or the analysis of data that is being stored onto the computer or to the other devices, right? Such as we can say hard drive, computer drive, floppy drive, CD drive, memory disk, right? So it can be stored in any of the solid state drives, right? So the goal is to uncover the hidden or the deleted files, or the recovered file we can say, or we can say the burned files or damaged files that is being recovered or stored from by the forensic team. So this is called as computer forensic. Next type is called as network forensic. Next, network forensic, we can say that this type of digital forensic category result into the monitoring or analyzing or presenting of the network that is being included onto the cyber security threat activity, right? So obviously for performing any sort of criminal activity, cyber activity, some of the person must have to connect through any of the network, right? They have to pass on through the network. So there are several softwares that already exist, such as Snort is there, Wireshark is there. So these software used to continuously monitor the network, or we can say packets, in order to find the unwanted packets or unwanted or illegal entering of the person into the network. So network forensic involve these activities. So third one is called as web forensic. Web forensic is nothing but it is related to the website forensic. It involves the analysis of data that is related to the web-based activities. Web-based activity, what is web-based activities? Whatever be the social media or social networking sites the user is using, or we can say whatever be the mails or emails or activities that is performed online is involved in the web forensic. That is so the goals of the web forensic is to uncover the criminal activity that is listed in the form of online websites. Next type of forensic is called as mobile device forensic. So it is generally related to the uh, uncover the details that is being involved onto the mobile phones. So these details can be contact details, messages of the user or the person. It can be a social media login credential, card or personal detail information, right? So there are lots of information that is being there onto one person's mobile phone, right? So mobile device forensic includes the recovery or the examination of the data of from the mobile phone. Not only the mobile phone, we can say tablet is, also comes under this category, right? So next type of we can say forensic is the memory forensic. So this include the analysis of data that is stored in the form of or stored in RAM, ROM, right? Or we can say some of the storage media it is being stored. So when that those storage media is being verified or being observed, it is called as that comes under the memory forensic, right? So by default when the computer is switched on, all the activities that is related to the files or something that is being listed onto the RAM. So that's why forensic team used to investigate the RAM so that their activities can be extracted from that one, right? So these are the type of different types of, you can say, digital forensics. So let's continue with another topic that is called as types of attacks. So in terms of cyber or computer, we can say there are two different types of attacks, we can say. One is called as active attack, another one is called as passive attack, right? So what is active attack? Active attack, we can say that if one person directly attack onto some other person or hit onto some other person without any medium or something, so we can say that it is called as active attack, right? So in technical term, we can say that the active attack are those type of cyber security attack in which the attacker attempt to change or destroy, modify or delete any file or disrupt any normal operation of the system or the network, right? So active attack involve the attacking taking attackers taking direct action, right? So it is related to the direct action, not indirect action, right? So direct action against the target system or the network. So whereas the passive attack can be considered as the more dangerous, because in passive attack we can say that it is related to the indirect attack. Means in active attack you know your opponent, but in passive attack you actually don't know who is attacking indirectly onto you, right? So passive attack is considered more we can say dangerous than the active attack, right? So generally active attack is of two, we can say, different types. So here we will be discussing some of the active attacks. So first active attack is called as masquerade attack, right? So what is masquerade attack? As the name is specify, masquerade attack is a type of attack in which the attacker pretend to be someone else and attack on behalf of other, not behalf of other, or it actually shows that XYZ other person is being attacking onto some other person, but in actual it is related to hiding their attacker's identity, right? So means this attack this activity involves the attacker pretend to be someone else in order to gain the access control of the system or the data, right? So this involves the we can say users original legitimate information, so that the original user can be tricked so that their activity or the critical information can be extracted, right? So this is called as masquerade attack. uh, Second type of attack we can say that comes under the active attack is the repudiation attack. Repudiation attack involves in which the attacker attempt to deny or refuse from their action that has been performed by him or her, right? Means in this type of attack we can say that it is generally related to some of the we can say land related thing, or we can say trade related thing, business related thing, in which once if you have performed any action, so you cannot deny those things that you haven't done those. So if that xyz person do so, there may be several loss of that asset can be done, or loss of business financial business activity can be done, right? So you cannot deny from their statement, right? So repudiation include the denying of any person from their action that has been performed. It can be either through doing any such of transaction, any cost of transaction, or related to sending any message or the conversation message, right? So these attack can become a very serious problem, because they can make difficult to track down the source of the attack, right? Because uh, it's if the intermediate person deny that I haven't communicated or we can say send any message to xyz person, so obviously the main source, uh, you can say attacker can't be identified, right? So this is called as repudiation attack. So opposite to this one repudiation attack, it is called as non-repudiation attack. So that says that once the action is performed by any person, that person can't deny from their activity, right? Next one is the passive attack, we can say. So in the passive attack is not similar to that of active attack. It is indirect attack, we can say. In active attack, a direct action is performed, whereas in passive attack, indirect action is performed. For example, suppose two persons are communicating each other, and they assume that no one is listening their conversation, whereas a third person listens their conversation, and based on that, if the third person performs some action or activity, and that lead to some loss of valuable things, so that is called as passive attack, right? So it is generally related to, or in a technical term we can say, it is related to the attempt to learn or make use of any information from the system, but it doesn't affect the system resources directly, right? Means it doesn't attack onto the system resources such as bandwidth, computer network, or something, right? So it is type of indirect attack. So this type of attack is performed either through in the form of eavesdropping, or it is in the form of continuously monitoring any person or the network's activity, right? So the goal of the opponent is to obtain the information from the conversation of the two parties, right? So it includes the attacking positively by continuously monitoring or collecting or storing the data from their conversation or from their activity, right? So through these indirect listening of the conversation, several types of we can say information can be gained, right? So what information can be gained? We can say that it is related to the uh, birth date of the person, it is related to the nickname of the person, it is related to the relatives, friends of the person, it is related to a password that is being used by any of the social media sites by that person, right? Like that. So similar to that of active attack, passive attack have some examples. We can say an example of passive attack is the man in the middle attack, right? So in man in the middle attack, as the name is specify, a man that is hidden, that is not directly in between the source and the destination of the conversation, right? So if over a telephonic conversation or through electronic mail or through any direct conversation, if two persons are communicating each other and a third person, or the we can say middle person, that is without knowing both the person if listening their conversation, so we can say that 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 middle person make use of those information by gaining their important conversation from their we can say talk, right? Our next topic is uh, steganography. So what is steganography? Steganography is nothing but it is a process of hiding our secret message uh, behind any other message or the image, right? Means it is a process of we can say hiding information for in order to send our secret message from source to destination. So previously there was a lot of problems created in order to encryption of the data, or delivery of the data from source to destination, delivery of the secret message from source to destination, right? So in between, if some person alter or change the or modify the original message, so obviously there will be a misconception or misconduct of the activity will be there, right? So that may lead to a severe cause of action. So this is the called as, so for that problem this steganography concept came into existence. So according to the technical term, it is a technique of hiding data within an ordinary or non-serious non-secured file or the message to avoid the detection, or the hidden data is then being extracted from the destination in order to receive the original message, right? So steganography used to combine the it is a combination of both the process that is called as encryption and decryption process.